Easter. We will. I would also like to welcome everyone coming today. Also, the KA members will be joining us. So yay! Thank you very much for coming. The opening song for today is "By the Spring of Life." So if you all could rise and join us for singing.
Whoa. Marched into the blessed land of Canaan with delight, living all our happiness here. At last the God released them free from being slaves to sin, into the blessed spring of life. Coming to the spring where living water flows, living evermore. Coming to the land where freely flows the spring, living evermore. Oh, guide us with your pillars, Lord of fire and of cloud. Oh, give us paths to follow with our lives. The moment that we cross the Jordan River is at hand. Come to me, blessings spring of life. Coming to the spring where living water flows, living evermore. Coming to the land where freely flows the spring, living evermore. Our thirsty hearts receive with joy the manna from above. Your precious food will always be our strength. So if the future finds us lacking, we will not despair. Coming to the blessed spring of life. Coming to the spring where living water flows. Glory will be living evermore. Coming to the land where freely flows the spring. Glory will be living evermore. Coming to the spring where living water flows. Glory will be living evermore. Going to the land where freely flows the spring. Glory will be living evermore. Glory will be living evermore.
Thank you, Ben. Can we invite Hyungil Woo to say the opening prayer?
All right, please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Parents and true parents, thank you for joining us on this Easter Sunday service at Seattle Family Church. We are all gathered here with gratitude for what Jesus Christ did and what true parents did and for the sake of humanity. And I hope that today, listening to the Sunday service, we can all be reminded of how much blessings that we received and how much we can do for our community and for the world. And please give us wisdom for the rest of the week. And I cherish that everyone could feel supported and do the great things. And I pray this in attending Holy Mother Han with gratitude. My name Hyungil Woo and Unyoung Kwon, bless Central Family, Aju.
I would like for everyone to turn to their neighbors and greet everyone beside you. Say good mornings. Let's start coming back. Right now, we can also invite up testimonies. Is there anyone who wants to like share what happened this week or this weekend that maybe like even God like wants you to share? Testimonies? No? Paige? Let's welcome up my Paige and Mikey.
Hi. So we went to Korea for the blessing, and um, yeah, and we also experienced the opening of the Chunil Sanctum, the Chunwongung. That was really cool. We weren't able to like go in because it was really like restricted, but we were able to watch the broadcast. And then the next day, we toured the Chunil Sanctum. It was really beautiful. My mom cried. It was just really cool to see like everything come to fruition and all the effort that has been put into the building. Um, the blessing was really cool too. We were really tired, but it was a really good, yeah, it was a really good experience. His whole family was able to come, and my whole family from Korea too was able to come. So
Um, yeah, kind of the same. It was really tiring, but it was worth it. But I think, like she said, the best thing was like seeing all our families come together. Like all my sisters and my parents and all her mom and also her birth parents and all her birth siblings all came together. It's a really big family. Also, my sister got blessed too, so like it was a really big family. But yeah, it was good. I was gonna say because like she has like four sisters, I have four sisters, just like no boys, but I'll make some happen, but we'll see. Anyways, it was a good experience, fun times, and also at the end like kind of traveled to Korea a bit, but all in all, I think it was a great experience, and we felt God's love and all that. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Paige and Mikey. I think we can go straight into the next song, Waymaker. If you are in, like, you can also join us in singing. Waymaker. Please invite up the band.
my God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, turning lives around. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, mending every heart. I worship you, yeah, I worship you. And you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. 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 You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. 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 That is who you are.
Can we give another round of applause? Thank you so much, band. Thank you so much. Before getting to the service, there are a few quotes that we should listen to. First is from Matthew 12, verse 46 to 50. While he, Jesus, was still speaking to the crowds, his mother and his brothers came, standing outside and wanting to talk to him. But he was responding to them and saying, "Who are my mother and my brothers?" And looking at those who sat around him in a circle, he said, "Here are my mother and my brothers. For whoever does the will of God is my brother and sister and mother. The second quote is from Reverend Simon Moon. Let us become a true member of Jesus' family. What then should we do to become a true family member of Christ? By attending Jesus in our daily life, we should become his family member, who came as a true person and the begotten Son of God. That is, the first family member of heaven. By doing so, we should be able to prove our life to be like that of Jesus before God. Today's speaker is Mrs. Korie Faris, and the title of the sermon will be Loving Jesus as Our True Brother. So please welcome up Korie Faris.
Thank you, band, and thank you, Misan. And happy Easter, everybody. You know, I think for Christians today and followers of Jesus today is, you know, an unadulteratedly joyful, I don't even know if that's a word, unadulteratedly. But anyways, totally joyful day because it's the day Jesus conquered the grave and that they believe his life's mission was fulfilled. But Easter for unificationists is a little bit more complicated than that because we know a little bit more of the context for Jesus' life and mission and what God actually intended for Jesus. So, you know, it is a day to celebrate, because God was still able, in Jesus' sacrifice and resurrection, to create a foundation for spiritual salvation at least. But it doesn't come without some grief on this day, too, that the original will of God was not actually able to be accomplished and that Jesus' life was tragically cut short and his mission was tragically cut short. So Easter always brings complicated emotions for me. And I think in a similar way that Christians can look at this day totally with joy and celebration and sort of in an uncomplicated way, similarly, their relationship to Jesus is a little bit less complicated because they don't know the full scope of his life. So for Christians, Jesus is Lord, he is Savior, he is Messiah, he is King of Kings, my shepherd, my rock. All of these things are true, of course. But again, with everything that true parents taught us about the real scope of Jesus' life and mission, we know that really Jesus was supposed to hold the most exalted title of true father, of true parent, of all of humankind, because Adam failed in that position. And so as we kind of, as we think more about this and realize not only was Jesus not able to receive the marriage blessing and experience conjugal love in that realm of heart, not only was he unable to have children and experience that parents' realm of heart for their children, but as he says in this, quote in Matthew, he really wasn't even able to experience the love in his family that he should have been able to experience. His own mother and his own father didn't fully understand or accept what Jesus' life and mission were about. And his own brothers and sisters did not believe who he said he was until, after he died, and they could realize his life was, in fact, blameless, sinless. So while Christians can have, I don't want to say it's like a one-dimensional relationship with Jesus, because honestly, there are so many Christians that have more love for Jesus than I do. But it's a little bit uncomplicated, their love for Jesus. true Father tells us that Jesus is our brother. And I think maybe there's a couple of reasons why, at least I have not heard in Christian spheres people refer to Jesus much as a brother. Maybe they have, but I think it's not talked about much. You know, you don't hear Christians often refer to Jesus as their brother. Partly that is, of course, because technically, right, Christians still stand in this position of the adopted son. And they've not been able to come from the same lineage as Jesus, from God's lineage. And so, you know, in a technical sense, they are not the true brothers or sisters of Jesus. But also because they don't realize that Jesus was longing for true brothers and true sisters and did not have that even in his own family. Perhaps there's not even this feeling of like, we need to be a brother or sister to Jesus. But true Father tells us that Jesus is our brother. And, you know, in different speeches, he says, you know, sometimes he says Jesus is our elder brother, which makes a lot of sense to me. But he also, in a birthday celebration for Jesus in 2004, he referred to Jesus as our younger brother. True Father said, "You are all in the position of the elder brother of Jesus. Why? Because you received the blessing during your lifetime. You should be able to show Jesus the way as an elder, following true parents. You have to be able to show the way." In terms of Jesus being our elder brother, that makes a lot of sense to me because obviously he's the firstborn son of God, born of God's blood lineage. Makes sense that he's the elder brother. Also, just in terms of like attaining perfection with God before any of us have, you know, and the level of wisdom and maturity, it makes sense to see Jesus as an elder brother. And I think it's easy to view Jesus as an elder brother because it fits into this narrative too of he's our rock. He's showing us the way. He's guiding us. He's the light. He's the one that we can count on. We can rely on. If we stumble, if we fall, he'll save us. But this quote from True Father about Jesus being our younger brother, that was what kind of stopped me in my tracks because outside of the, stripping away all of the principled talk and biblical talk, I'm an older sister of 6 siblings. So when I hear that someone like Jesus is my younger brother, I can't help but automatically go into like big sis mode. And it really alters your brain because all of a sudden the responsibility shifts. As an older sibling, and I don't think this is actually exclusive to older siblings per se, I think any sibling can feel this way, but for me as an older sister, I feel responsible for my younger siblings. I feel that I want them to be able to lean on me, and I want them to be able to look up to me. I want them to be able to look at my life and feel proud to call me their sister. I want them to feel like if they are stumbling, or if their burden is too great, or if they're struggling, they can call me, and they can count on me to help them. Also, any sibling feels that they want their brother or sister to be happier than they are. And they want their siblings to succeed even more than they succeed. So in this way, when I put myself into the realm of heart of an older sister to Jesus, it totally changes, the way that I think about my own accountability to Jesus. Not just to follow him, not just to follow his example. Of course, we're the younger sibling too. That's an element too. But as the older sister, to also be someone that Jesus can lean on, that he can count on, that he can be proud of, that he can call on. And I think that, that is really something on this day to celebrate, that we, for the first time in history, can stand in a position to call ourselves the true brothers and sisters of Jesus that he has never before been able to have. The sibling relationship is so special. I think almost every one of us here grew up with siblings, or at least we have had multiple children if we can, because we want our children to have siblings. And one of the most beautiful things for a parent to witness is the love between siblings, and when siblings take care of each other and look out for each other. And so, try to imagine being in Jesus' shoes 2,000 years ago. Really, he's like an orphan, totally misunderstood by his own family. If we can imagine ourselves being the total black sheep of our own family, how isolating and how alienating that can be. But now we stand in a position where not only do we share the same heavenly parent as Jesus and the same blood lineage as Jesus, and as such, stand in the position of true family members of Jesus, but we also know a little bit about Jesus' life course. And we know a little bit more about the context of what his mission was supposed to entail. And so we can have a heart for him that other people, just because they don't know, they can't understand. The other thing I think, when I think about Jesus, of course, is that his life was cut so short. And, if you've ever talked, I have a few friends who have lost siblings at a tragically, their life was cut short, too short. And I'm 36 now, I'll be 37 this year, so I also have already surpassed Jesus in age. And if, any of my friends who have lost a sibling too soon, they'll tell you that every milestone that they achieve in their life, a birthday or they reach another age, a marriage, having children, it's natural to celebrate those things. And of course, it's a wonderful thing to get married. Congratulations, everyone. And then to have children. But that each of those milestones, when you've lost a sibling too young, comes with grief as well. You can't ignore the fact that you've been able to accomplish something that your sibling never lived long enough to experience. And again, it's no real fault of their own, but Christians don't know that Jesus was supposed to experience all of these things. And so they can't grieve in the way that we can, that our brother didn't get to experience, some of these most important milestones in his own life. So the least we can do is in our own marriages, and as we raise our children in our own families, make it such that Jesus can live through us in that and experience what those milestones. If you lose a sibling too young, you want to do it right by them, right? When you have your own kids, you want to do it right by them because they won't get the chance to do it. And obviously, we know things have changed now, and Jesus has received the blessing, and there is a lot to celebrate. True parents crowned him and liberated him and blessed him, and so there is a lot to celebrate. But when you lose a sibling too soon, with every celebration does come some grief as well. However, I don't totally want to focus on, I don't want today's sermon to be so sad, because the good news is, I like to think about how, I think technically True Father said this, the first was with Hungjinim, when Hungjinim passed away, but Hungjinim and True Father in the spirit world now with Jesus, Jesus now, there's a band of brothers in heaven together that truly understand each other, that Jesus is finally getting to experience true brotherhood, this realm of heart that is so important and so special and unique, because he has brothers and sisters that share a common parent and that share the same, heart for God, for God's will. You can kind of boil down, the sibling relationship is unique for essentially two reasons. One, you come from the same parents. You come from the same blood. You can't deny that. I actually had there's a BC girl I met who, I think she's one of 3 or 4, but one of her siblings was an offering child. Some of you probably know him. He's a really tall white guy, and he was offered to Japanese parents, and he grew up in Japan. So you can imagine, they didn't, I think they kept in touch, but they never met each other. So she and her offering brother only met when they were finally both adults. And she said it was just such a jarring experience because on the one hand, he's got a Japanese accent, which is really bizarre because he looks just like her brother, but he's got a Japanese accent. But then on the other hand, what was so uncanny was even though he never met his birth family and grew up on the other side of the world, she said his mannerisms, his body language, his facial expressions, even the way he laughed and like how he laughed about stuff was a carbon copy of their dad and her brother. He never saw the dad or the brother. It's not like because he mimicked them. It's not like he saw them and was raised around them, but something because the genetics are just so strong when you come from the same parents that even if you're raised on the other side of the world, you're still like your parents, and you're like your siblings because of that blood connection. So on the one hand, we are brothers and sisters to Jesus because we share God as our heavenly parent. And it doesn't matter where you grew up in the world or how you were raised or what language you speak or what accent you have, we carry similar characteristics as brothers and sisters because we all come from the same blood lineage and we all share God as a heavenly parent. The other thing that, of course, deepens the sibling relationship and really makes the sibling relationship so special and unique is that siblings have, they're raised in the same household, not in the case of this offering child, but, the typical experience is that siblings are raised in the same household with the same quality of love from their parents and the same shared experiences and similar values that bonds you in a way that you don't experience with other people. Or if you do have friends that feel really close, we always say, right, she's like a sister to me. She's like a brother, because it means something deeper than just friendship. And so the other way that we share siblinghood with Jesus and what deepens our siblinghood with Jesus is really when we share experiences with him and when we share the same desires and values, the same goals, the same heart. Jesus says in that quote, "Whoever does the will of God is my brother, my sister, my mother," because his heart was 100% to do the will of God. Everything was centered around that. So naturally, we can be a brother or a sister, a true brother or sister to Jesus when we share that same quality of desire, of love, the same values, the same things that are important to our siblings are important to us. And so, on this Easter day, as we reflect on Jesus' life and all that he, the complicatedness of it, all that he was able to do, but also all that was not able to happen, we at least today can stand in a position to be a true brother or a true sister to Jesus and give him the experience of a true family that he could never have on this physical earth. And to take on the heart of both the younger sibling and the older sibling. The younger sibling who loves and looks up to and, just adores, right? Your older brother or your older sister. Like, they're so awesome. They're the best thing in the whole world. But also the heart of the older sibling who wants to care for and support the younger sibling, who wants the younger sibling to find true happiness and succeed, and who wants to be the rock for the younger sibling, who wants to be the one who the younger sibling can look up to and lean on as well. And so as we go out, into this day and celebrating the rest of this day and this week, it's a realm of heart to consider that as true brothers and true sisters to Jesus, we can really comfort a part of his heart that he never got to experience. And we can take some responsibility as a sibling to ease his burden, to bring joy, to, rejoice as a heavenly family, to give him a heavenly family. So I hope we can all find joy in doing that and find a lot of fulfillment in doing that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Korie Faris. Can we give another round of applause? Okay. From now, we can have a 5-minute discussion with your neighbor, just reflect on what we have listened to, and just soak in and fully process everything. Let's start coming back. Turn those chairs around as we start to begin our last part. Hello, hello. Are we still talking? Yes, sir? Yes, sir. All right. Well, is there any like volunteers to share what they have discussed about? Any volunteers? Like something that you've learned from the sermon today? If not, I will go straight to announcements. Going once? Going twice? Okay. So, thank you everyone for the tithing and donations. It supports the ministries of the Seattle Family Church. I'm pretty sure announcements go up on the TV, I think. Yep, there it is. So you can also donate through Venmo, check, or cash. There's a basket. There should be a basket at the back over there. But otherwise, yeah. Next up, we are all invited to join the Chomshimon prayers, both local, national, or international. Yeah. And then the third number. Special Grace Holy Wine ceremony is extended until May 22nd. It is available by request by Pastor Rosie. For today, there will be an Easter egg hunt from 12 noon for the little kids. Sorry, adults. Only little kids. There is a flyer somewhere. You can look at that for details. And also there is a fundraiser from our Koran. So please support the Koran downstairs. There is sushi. We love sushi, right? There's also Mrs. Naoko Fish has also made a Passover soup that you can also enjoy while you're downstairs for lunch. Also, last one. Wait, never mind. That was wrong thing. Is there any other more announcements that I should share? Nope. Okay. So let us join the band and also youth group for the last song. So please stand up for Sailing with Our Father. Sailing with Our Father.
Oh, sailing with our father? On the stage? Oh, just that's crazy. Hype. Are we missing somebody? Kyonga. Who else is there? Suai. Hey, can't hide. Oh, where's the drummer? Where's Kala? You go there. You're shorter. You, drummer. Where's that drummer? So she's hiding right there. Wait, who's that? She called it. I already found. Oh, you did.
Sua, we need you. Please. Misa, we need you.
Hey, we won't start until you come over here. Hey, I'm leaving Rifa. Yeah, you're leaving only Kyunga here. She's the only sister here. Honest. Yeah!
Yeah, G, yeah. You guys can use this.
One more music? Yeah, well, that was beautiful. Thank you, band, and thank you, Korie, for the message today. And I want to thank everyone for being here. I am going to offer our prayer. Let us pray. Our dear most beloved Heavenly Parent, beloved true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, we are truly, truly grateful. I am grateful for today. We celebrate Easter, the day that Jesus was risen. Heavenly Parent, I'm grateful for the message being given, a new perspective, Heavenly Parent, about your son, your only begotten Son, Jesus. Seeing him as our elder brother and also our younger brother, Heavenly Parent. It brings us to seeing ourselves also having a new, different kind of responsibility. Heavenly Parent, we want to be one with you in realizing the desires that Jesus had in his life when he was here on earth. We want to be with you in realizing the desires that the returning Lord, our true Father, had desire to realize together with your only begotten daughter, the Holy Mother Han. Heavenly Parent, We just had the entrance ceremony to the Chunel Sanctum and the Chunwan Gong. And we want to welcome you too, Heavenly Parent, because for the first time you are here with us on earth. And Heavenly Parent, yes, we are to expand the kingdom, Heavenly Parent, that is started, Heavenly Parent. Heavenly Parent, I pray for this community of the Seattle Family Church, this community of brothers and sisters, blessed families, Heavenly Parent, who had been working together, Heavenly Parent, for years in this state of Washington, Heavenly Parent. I really pray that as we think of expanding the Holy Land, Heavenly Parent, that our true parents established in Korea, we can also really think of expanding the Seattle community, Heavenly Parent, to the whole of this state of Washington and to this nation of America, Heavenly Parent. So loving Heavenly Parent, thank you. Bless this community. Would like to offer all these things with gratitude in attending the Holy Mother Han. I report in my name, Rosie D. Han Muyongo, blessed family. Adieu.
That's it. Thank you for coming. Yeah, so there's food downstairs. Wherever the little kids are. Easter egg hunting time. But yeah, thank you for coming. This is the end of service.